Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff. This is our daily lectionary readings for Saturday, July 2nd, 2022. We have our three daily readings. Psalm 66, 1 through 9, once again, is our psalm reading. Our Old Testament reading today comes from the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verses 10 through 21. And our New Testament reading comes from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 9, verses 1 through 6. Let us listen in to the scriptures. First, psalm reading, Psalm 66. Sing to the Lord, all the earth. Sing of his glorious name. Tell the world how wonderful he is, how awe-inspiring are your deeds. O God, how great your power. No wonder your enemies surrender. All the earth shall worship you and sing of your glories. Come, see the glorious things that God has done. What marvelous miracles happened to his people. He made a dry road through the sea for them. They went across on foot. What excitement and joy there was that day. Because of his great power, he rules forever. He watches every movement of the nation. O rebel lands, he will deflate your pride. Let everyone bless God and sing his praises, for he holds our lives in his hands, and he holds our feet to the paths. Our Old Testament reading comes from the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verses 10 through 21. All the land from Geba, the northern border of Judah, to Rimmon, the southern border, will become one vast plain, but Jerusalem will be on an elevated site, covering the area all the way from the gate of Benjamin over to the site of the old gate, then to the corner gate, and from the tower of Hanel to the king's wine presses. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited, safe at last, never again to be cursed or destroyed. And the Lord will send a plague on all the people who fought Jerusalem. They will become like walking corpses, their flesh rotting away. Their eyes will shrivel in their sockets, and their tongues will decay in their mouths. They will be seized with terror, panic-stricken from the Lord, and they will fight against each other in hand-and-hand combat. All Judah will be fighting at Jerusalem. The wealth of all the neighboring nations will be confiscated. Great quantities of gold and silver and fine clothing. This same plague will strike the horses, mules, camels, donkeys, and all of the other animals in the enemy camp. In the end, those who survive the plague will go up to Jerusalem each year to worship the King, the Lord Almighty, to celebrate a time of thanksgiving. And any nation, anywhere in all the world that refuses to come to Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord Almighty will have no rain. But if Egypt refuses to come, God will punish her with some other plague. And so Egypt and the other nations will all be punished if they refuse to come. In that day, the bells on the horses will have written on them, "These are holy property." And the trash cans in the temple of the Lord will be sacred, as the bowls beside the altar. In fact, every container in Jerusalem and Judah shall be sacred to the Lord Almighty. All who come to worship may use any of them, free of charge, to boil their sacrifices in. There will be no more grasping traders in the temple of the Lord Almighty. Our New Testament reading comes from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 9, verses 1 through 6. One day, Jesus called together his 12 apostles and gave them authority over demons, power to cast them out, and to heal all diseases. Then he sent them away to tell everyone about the coming of the kingdom of God and heal the sick. Don't even take along a walking stick, he instructed them. Not a beggar's bag, nor food, nor money, not even an extra coat. Be a guest in only one home at each village. If the people of a town won't listen to you when you enter in it, turn around and leave. demonstrating God's anger against it by shaking its dust from your feet as you go. So they began their circuit of the villages, preaching the good news and healing the sick. And here ends our readings for the day. Peace be to you, and I hope to see you at church on Sunday. Have a wonderful weekend.